Hey, hey guys, man, I guess I just have been away from church people too long. For you that don't know me, um, I have a channel that I posted a while back. I think it was like 7, 8 months ago, and just made a couple videos and kind of said, I don't know if I should be doing this and if it's for me and that yada yada. And it was brought to my attention that I should, and I felt lazy. So I started posting the videos, and I said, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And in that time, I guess I had forgotten that Christians eat their own. And what I'm talking about is some guys, there's some people who are wrestling with the Trinity issue. And in my comment threads, I've seen the most vile, personal comments from Trinitarians. I'm going to say right now, you people need to correct your own. These are people who have reached a crossroads in their life. They're hurting inside because they're wrestling with these things, and they have the honesty and the fortitude to say so. And you people just pile on them the most. I mean, it's like the vision of a man who's been hit by a car, and these people just come and they start stomping the crap out of him. We need to get something very straight, very fast. Your theological disposition is irrelevant to how you should treat people. And I notice people on this internet stuff are so fast to pass these personal. Since my videos have been put up and shared by certain brothers, I've gotten a swarm of emails. I'd say 1% of them is seeking clarification on something I said. Another 5% is asking honest questions. And I'd say the other 94% is just garbage. It's just a useless thing. Why even say anything? If you're not going to comment on what's in the video, like the points in the video, and you're just going to go off into some tirade, it's pointless. But getting back to the main point, your theological beliefs should never, ever make you talk to a person in such a manner. Even if your belief is right, imagine if people were to talk to you that way. And all you people who are so fast to say, oh, you're going to hell, you're an apostate, you're this, you're that, like you are the personal judgment arm of God, clinging to your little book as tight as you can. I got news for you. That book isn't going to save you. Anything less than the personal relationship with God and His Spirit as manifested through Jesus Christ is not going to save you. That book has become your idol. And anything that you perceive threatening that book, you become unhinged. And I don't know where you think the brothers are being edified by the things that you say. You're in these little theological cliques. I'm going to tell you right now, if someone is walking upright and doing the right things and living as best as they can and proclaiming the knowledge of Christ as our Savior, which is what the Bible says, and preaching God to people in honesty and loving and helping, but they don't agree with me theologically, I'm still going to treat that person with the utmost respect. And that's the first thing, when I look at you people, I know there's something missing from you guys. Now, there are Trinitarians who don't act like this, don't get me wrong. But the ones who feel most the need to speak, they're just vile people. And for all you people who want to sit there and talk about all these people going to hell and apostates, you really got some big part of your ego. No man has a right to say such a thing. We're not talking about child molesters and murderers and rapists, and we're talking about people, like Israel says, to struggle and to strive with God, to walk with God. That's what they're doing. They're asking deeper and deeper questions that you probably never even have come across or even thought of. And they are trying to reach deep into the mind of God and figure some things out. And the best you can do is call them apostates and that they're going to hell. You're Calvinist, you're Arminian, you're all these things. But the bottom line is you're loveless too. Add that to the list. And even if you are right, the way you talk to people, I don't think matches up with Luke 15:3, does it? So he told them this parable. What man of you, having 100 sheep, if he has lost one of them, does not leave the 99 in the open country and go after the one that is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he lays it on his shoulders rejoicing. And when he comes home, he calls together his friends and his neighbors, saying to them, rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep that was lost. You know, your version of that parable would be, I find the sheep, and then I proceed to kicking him in the face. I just don't get it. Well, I do get it. I do understand. You people have become so theologically and dogmatically driven. Not only are you unable to answer these questions, you're incompatible with the idea of just a common humanity, a common struggle to figure out what this life is all about. And to those who are the victims of these attacks, I went through this. And I'm actually going through it now again with people in their ignorant emails, which I'm just not going to answer anymore if they're ignorant. But I'll be more than glad to answer anyone who has an honest question or just would like to talk or have a point. I'm very friendly with people. I don't care if you're a Muslim or anything else. I'm going to treat you with the utmost respect, and I'm going to carefully and gently explain my ideas as best I can. I may not always be successful. But to you guys who are on the receiving end of this, I'm going to tell you, I've come to find with false beliefs that when you ask an honest question and it cuts you to the heart like a razor. When the honest answer comes out, you're probably on to something. And I will tell you that these people do not represent the real brotherhood. These people do not represent the spirit of Christ, for that matter. Christ was always very open and engaging with people who were honestly asking him questions and trying to understand. And for you to say that you have the truth and you have the right to stomp someone into the ground with it sounds very much like a Pharisee. They too had become so dogmatic that any further, I'm not even going to say revelation. It's not. It's knowledge. It's knowledge. Any further teaching to them was just not applicable, because their King James Bible was their Torah scrolls and their books that they tied on their heads and the cords that they wrapped around their arms and their synagogues. They had become self-righteous rulers. There's a lot of those today. But to you guys who are going through it, who are getting your teeth kicked in by these people, who give you no quarter, no pass, no nothing, and they just come at you like this, it's because I think that they're scared. They're scared, I think, that you might actually reach a point of understanding that not only challenges, but quite frankly, totally obliterates their own. I did this video on Isaiah 44. And this is strange. It's my newest video. And it's actually been viewed more than any other video that I have up. And I have, I think, 37 or 38, something like that. And I thought that was strange. But I also noticed in the comment sections is that no one answered the question. The video asked a simple question. It's who's speaking. And I get accused, are you playing games? Oh, you're being dishonest. And one cat said, I made a hermeneutical straw man that I could set ablaze and threw red meat to the cults. I think I'm quoting that right. And it's a simple, when you can't answer a question simply and honestly, there's something wrong with you. I don't care what belief it is. So to you guys who have the strength and the courage to ask these questions and answer these questions honestly and go where the truth leads you, you can't be worried about these people. You just have to let it roll off your back. Take the shots to the face, because you're going to catch some, especially in this internet game, from what I've noticed. But it's going to come in your personal life, especially guys and girls that are living in a dogmatic household or church. The price can be high. And at that point, all you're going to have is God at that point. When you're rejected by everyone else and spit on and cast out, that's all you're going to have. And take heart in that. Take heart in that when they attack you and they're going off on you and saying all these, probably, quite frankly, things that aren't even true about you. Stay strong. There are people who, good examples out there have made it to the other side. And I'd be the same way with someone who was a Unitarian saying, well, I think I'm going to become a Trinitarian. I'm not going to sit there and say you're an apostate and you're going to burn in hell and all this stuff. Quite frankly, I don't have authority to. I don't know which one of you guys are apostles. I don't know which one of you guys got a personal message from God to start judging people. You guys got some nerve, and God help you if you're wrong. Let's say you're right about 99% of them, and that 1% you were wrong, you told them they were going to hell. You passed judgment on them on this earth. God help you. I don't do that, and I never will. I'll never say you're going to hell. I may say you're unreasonable. I may say a lot of things, but judgment is God's business. Paul said, I don't even judge myself. And you guys are just out handing out judgments left and right. Like this is some kind of third-rate traffic court where you pay your tickets, just come in and come out. You guys are careless with your words, and you're heartless with your deeds to boot. So, to my friends who are honestly seeking, and like I said, I'm not trying to bring you to my point of view. I'm not trying to prove to you I'm right. I don't care if you agree with me in the end. Reach deep and ask God these big questions and form your belief around the simple teachings that Jesus gave. That's the only thing I'm pointing out. And don't worry about the naysayers and the people who would judge you. And I'll say the same thing. If you came to me and said, I consider everything you had to say, but I'm becoming a Trinitarian. If you're still living right and doing the simple things of Jesus, I got no problem with you. I don't agree with you. But I will never pass judgment on you. It's not my place. And I would, quite frankly, be very wary of anybody who did such a thing, who passed judgment on everybody else. Don't be an idol worshiper. Don't let your theology and your dogma mess up your mind so bad that I can't tell you the number of discussions I've watched where I was just flabbergasted, from politics to religion, where someone asks a straightforward question and the other person rewords the question in a way that had nothing to do with the original question and goes off on this tangent. When you lose the ability to answer questions, honestly, you've lost everything. You've lost the ability to communicate, learn, teach. All that's gone because you're so warped because of a theology. Let the theology go. The theology is not the power of God. The Bible in of itself is not the power of God. It's a collection of the scriptures. It's a collection of the teachings and sayings of Jesus that guide you into learning and remembering his ways and what he expects of us. But you need to develop the real world relationship with Jesus and God. That is what it comes down to. If someone knows Jesus and knows God and does their will, the Bible's not even an issue, is it? If they have a personal relationship with Jesus. And people are so quick just to mass label people and say, well, I know this one's bad. You don't know what's in that man's heart. You don't know what that man's struggling with. And quite frankly, you don't know if he's a son or daughter of God. So I'd watch my words very carefully when it came to stuff like that and brothers who are seeking the truth. Choose your words carefully, because it's not called for and it's not Christian. God bless you.